Hi guys, it's Jake at Canadian Cutting Edge, and today we're going to take a look at a big flashlight. This guy comes in black or silver, made by Convoy. This is the L6. Big, bad flashlight. Bad in the good sense of the word. Not crazy what we do with English. Very powerful. Fairly simple and straightforward in a good way. Sturdy, lots of light, and it is something that if you need a whole lot of lumens and you want something that's built very well, that's going to last for a long time, and you've got a budget that is a little bit tighter than some, this is your light. This is a light you need to consider if you need lots of lumens and you want a light that's going to last you and be a good quality thing that you can just keep using and using and using. The Convoy L6 is what we're looking at today. Stick around for the full review. Okay, so I'm not going to do a traditional tabletop down view review because there's not that many details to sort of look at down on a tabletop. It's just a very straightforward flashlight. First, before we take it apart and show you the parts, I'll let you see what comes in the package. You get the flashlight itself. You get a little bit of a lanyard. The lanyard has a nice little clip there, so you can clip it on to your flashlight. A bit of a lanyard there, a ball that moves so you can change the opening, and then it's got a clamping piece as well that you can move and it'll stay where you leave it. It's got a bit of a spring in it. You've seen those things before, I'm sure. So you get this. You also get in a little baggie some more parts. You get an aluminum ring. They call this extra piece a tactical ring, and I will put it on and show you how that is used. And in the little baggie you also get a tiny little lanyard adapter piece. You also get a couple of O-rings, which come in very handy over the life of the unit. And you even get a spare on-off switch. And a rubber on-off cap. So you get all those parts together with this light. So let's take this apart and look at the details of it. Starting at the tail end. This is the power switch end, and you can hear me switching it on and off. It's got that switch in there. You can use one of those plier tools that uses 2 points. This right now it's oriented at the top and at the bottom of that bronze ring, and then you use that to unscrew it and take it apart, and then you can get in at the switch and replace the switch if you need to. And the next thing you see inside here is a bit of a spacer ring, and you unscrew it, and once it's unscrewed you have to slide it over the O-ring. There we go. And it's just a spacer ring, and you have to take this spacer ring off if you want to put that tactical piece in. They're the exact same thickness or width, and you can put it on there and you screw it on, and now you've got that tactical ring. How you would use that tactical ring, I'm not really sure. Is it designed mostly so that your hand won't slide back, or is it designed for you to hold the other way and whack somebody with it and you've got little parts that are going to hurt more? I don't know. It's got little holes in it, I guess for a different way of strapping it on or something. I will never be using that tactical piece, to be honest with you. So let's undo it here. And once it's unscrewed, we take it off, put that spacer back on, and the very next thing that you have, well, is the batteries. These are 26650 batteries. You need to buy the protected batteries. If you don't, lithium-ion batteries, when you put them in series, if you don't have the protected ones, you're asking for an explosion, or at the very least a fire, to hurt yourself. Yes, you're inside an all aluminum casing, but you can still give yourself a fair bit of pain if your batteries go kaboofy. You want protected batteries. These guys are 69 millimeters long. That's the absolute shortest you can get away with. You're better off getting 70 millimeter ones. If you can find 71 millimeter ones, even better. I guess I could use some small spacers in here that are conductive, but that's very risky, because if you just put in a washer or something, that washer can slide over and touch the outside of this case, and then you got yourself a short circuit and you got yourself another dangerous situation. So you don't want to do that. I mentioned it because I know somebody's going to think of that and going to try it, and you're going to hurt yourself or somebody else. So you need them at least 69 millimeters. These barely work, and 70 is better, so that it holds in there nice and well, and the springs compress onto the batteries and hold them in place, and it works just fine. Another item that I got from Banggood was this battery charger, the XTAR VC4. I needed this because the battery chargers that I had couldn't charge a 26650 battery, but this guy can. In fact, you can charge 2 of them at the same time in these larger 2 channels. The great thing about this thing is it's only $30 US, and yet it charges each of these 4 channels independently, a different chip to control each one of them. The most important thing about the fact that it's a different chip controlling each one of these chargers is, let's say you've got 2 batteries that you need to charge. One of them's all the way empty, the other one's half full, and you put it in and you start charging it up. If you don't have a variable channel charger, it's going to fill up the one that's half full and stop charging both of them. And so what you're going to end up with is one that's full and one that's half full. And so you put the batteries that are full and half full into your device, and as the battery gets used up and the thing dies, you got a battery that's half full and empty. You put them in the charger and it charges them up, and it stops charging, and you're stuck with one that's full and one that's half full. And pretty soon, you're only using half the life of the batteries that you can. So be smart. Get yourself a battery charger that has independent channel charging. This is one of those options. I've got a coupon for it, and I've got a link for it in the description below to get that from Banggood. Now, the next thing is you can take the handle off of the head, or the head off the handle, whichever way you want to word it. So you've got that. It's just basically a tube, all aluminum, O-rings on both ends. And right there, you got the end of the LED. And as you can see, the chip in there is the XHP-70, really bright light. That LED is capable of, I think, up to 4,000 lumens. This guy is rated by the manufacturer at 3,800 lumens. In real life, it's closer to 3,500 lumens. So that's that end. And on the face end, you can take off the front piece here so that you can get at the glass. You got your cover. You've got coated glass here. And then you've got the reflector. And this is one of those orange peel reflectors. You can see it very clearly now that I've taken it out. It's a big heavy chunk of aluminum. And then on the inside there you've got the LED. So that's all that it takes. Let's put it all back together. This light has an IPX8 rating. The IPX8 rating is actually quite unique. One person's or one manufacturer's IPX rating isn't necessarily another manufacturer's IPX8 rating. It's actually a variable rating. IPX7 is 1 meter of submersion for 30 minutes and it'll still work. IPX8 is anything that is even better than that. Convoy's rating is 2 meters for 1 hour. So there you go. Let's talk about the switches on here. The tail switch is on off and it has a memory. Well, the unit has a memory. It'll go back to the previous rating that you had. So let's turn it on so that we got the light on. And then you've got this switch up here, and that switch will go through the different light outputs. How do you get to strobe? Double click right here and it goes to strobe mode. Strobe mode is the only mode that doesn't work with the memory. So if you're on strobe mode and you turn it off, when you turn it back on, it'll go to the previous whatever rating you had it at. So there you have it. That's how it works. Let's go over the dimensions for the flashlight. The length of it is 24 3/4 centimeters, which is 9.75, 9 3/4 inches. It's about 7.5 centimeters at the head right here, just less than 3 inches. The weight of this unit is 549 grams, which is 1.2 pounds. My batteries, and your batteries might be different, my batteries weighed 187 grams, which is 6.6 ounces. If you get 26650 batteries and the milliamp hour rating on them is larger than 5,500 milliamp hours, let's say they say 6,000 or 10,000 or 20,000 milliamp hours, you've got a fake battery. It's really a battery, but it's not what it claims to be. On the 18650s, if the rating is higher than 3,500 milliamp hours, it's fake. If it's over 3,000 milliamp hours, it's probably fake. A good 18650 battery is about 2,500 milliamp hours, 2,600 milliamp hours, roughly something like that. Those are the really good quality ones. You just can't get a great battery that's much higher than that in that size of a package. It's just physics. So here we've got this guy. How much do you pay for this thing? Well, it's right around $60, $65 US. That's a steal for a flashlight of this power. That is very, very economical. Normally you're paying hundreds of dollars for a flashlight that has that much power. You also get very good quality. This thing is very sturdy, it's strong, robust pieces and parts inside. It's a really good flashlight. Let's go outside and see what kind of light I got when I was outside in mostly dark. We'll play that video right now. I readily admit that I don't have the perfect camera for this because the aperture is going to automatically adjust depending on how much light's coming in, but we'll do the best we can with what we've got. Right now I'm using my HC30 headlight by Nitecore, and I'm going to put it onto the highest mode, which is supposed to be around 1,000 lumens. There you go, right there. And that's my garage. And it's about 20 meters away, 25 yards, 25 meters roughly. I'll give you an exact measurement. I'll measure it in the morning and let you know. And I've got my headlight shining right at it. And today we're going to look at the Convoy L6. I've just turned it on, and you can see maybe you can see the spot that I'm putting on the ground of it in the lowest mode. Let's put it up a bit, add a bit more. There you go, and more. I think that's the highest setting, and we're off. We've got 4 settings on this L6 plus strobe, and that's it. Nice and simple, easy to use, no problems. So let's get it onto the highest mode here, and you can take a look at these 2 different lights beside each other. To the left is 1,000 lumens. It's a little whiter light from my headlight. And then we've got the 3,800 lumens from the Convoy on the right. So you can see a little bit of the difference there. It's hard to tell because the light splashes into one another. On the left we have 1,000 roughly lumens. On the right we have roughly 1,400 lumens, and yes, it is brighter, so we can move over the Convoy to the left and it washes out the other light, as you can easily see when I move it over. And then when we go to the highest mode, it just splashes it right out. Then the camera adjusts and it goes down, but you can see the big difference between the left and the right. So this Convoy that you see bouncing up and down now is uber bright compared to your traditional 1,000 lumen headlamps. It just splashes them out, no problem at all. You can look a tremendously long ways, and it just it says 500 meters is the spec on it. That's how far you can see clearly. There's too much light pollution out here, but in town, so it's really hard to do this kind of test. I don't have a place in the countryside to go to where I can flash around lights without having somebody call the cops. So I have to do this in my backyard here. But what you can clearly see is that it is very, very bright. I go across the yard to the back into my side yard. If we look across here, this is a little over 100 feet, and my little bird feeder over there is just totally lit up by this L6. I can even go down to, that's the second mode, and it's lit up. And the third mode is around 1400 lumens, and it's just superly bright already. And then it just washes it out. And you can see how the camera adjusts the light already. So it's hard to see how bright this really is, but it is very, very bright indeed. I hope that comparison helps you a little bit to understand how bright this light is. Let's go back inside. Okay, so we're back inside. What do we think about this flashlight? I think it's a great flashlight for the price. Very good value for the amount of light that you get. Very good for how much time it'll be bright for you. I didn't go over the time, did I? This flashlight on the highest rating, which is 3300 lumens or whatever on the turbo mode, you've got about an hour and a half of light if you've got it fully charged. That last third, that last half hour, it's going to be going dim during that time. So for its full brightest is probably only 60 minutes. At the next lower rating, around 1300 to 1400 lumens, this thing's going to last about 4.5 to 4 3/4 hours, something like that. Mileage will vary. Are they brand new batteries? Are they fully charged? Mileage varies. And then even longer as you go through the lower levels. I think this light, the Convoy L6, all of the Convoys actually, as a whole, are very good quality for the price. They are the budget brand for flashlights on the market right now. If you want good quality at a low price, you're looking at Convoy. It's sort of like in the knives. If you want good quality at a low price, you're going to go get a Ganzo or a Y-Start, maybe an Enlan, San Remu for sure. You're going to get those brands if you want great quality for the price. Very functional, very useful, robust, and looks good. This guy is a light that I'm going to be keeping for a long time. Thanks so much for watching this review. And if you want to get this light, I was given this light by Banggood to do a review. Thank you to Banggood for that. And the links below in the description are links to go to Banggood and get one of these flashlights for yourself. Thanks for watching. Stay bright. Bye now.